New Horizons is dead. Yeah, I know, I hate saying it too, but the game isn't getting updates. Most of us have done everything we want to do with the game, and we're all just listening for any hint of another Animal Crossing coming out. Patiently. Very patiently. While waiting, I can't help but picture what the next game will ultimately hold. New Horizons really stepped up improvements in the series. From mechanics like placing furniture outside, to terraforming, to crafting. But there's so much more this game could add. The plethora of life sim and farm sims that have released over the years gives us a good look at what mechanics could be added to the Animal Crossing series. Each game in the series tends to have new mechanics that completely blow us away. In City Folk, it was a whole gosh darn city. New Leaf gave us a bunch of stuff like bunch of fruit, minigames, public works projects, Main Street, a few new special characters, and a mysterious who's the mayor story that has still never been solved. And New Horizons gave us the huge mechanics that I've already mentioned, plus a spin-off DLC that actually connects to the game, which is a nice improvement over Happy Home Designer. So what will the developers give us this time? Before I hop into the video, we have a quick word from our sponsor, Dragon City. Dragon City is a free-to-play mobile game available on all devices where you can build an empire with floating islands, farms, habitats, buildings, and tons of dragons. These dragons, though. Oh my lord, some of them are adorable. You can collect over 1,000 dragons with unique designs, elements, and rarities to build your own dragon empire. I'm not addicted to collecting dragons, you are. The nature dragon, though, is hands down my favorite. How can you not like this precious baby? Look at it. Combine dragons of flame, nature, ice, electric, and many other elements to breed over 1,000 awesome dragons. Hatch your eggs and then feed your baby dragons to watch them evolve. You'll find more dragons of your favorite YouTubers like Mr. Beast, Dream, George Not Found, and more. You can train your dragon, teach them new attacks, and bring them into battle to make them more powerful in turn-based style combat. Besides combining dragons to create new ones, I love battling the gauntlet of other dragons and proving my cuties are better than everyone else's. Download Dragon City by clicking the link in the description, or scan the QR code and get a special free starter pack with 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the rare Scout Dragon. Now that I have my nature dragon by my side, it's time to get back to the video. There are countless quality of life improvements that the developers could add. We'll probably get some kind of bulk crafting for items like fish bait, more items in nooks, or something like more pocket space and storage. These are of course going to happen, but I don't care about those right now. I want to speculate what big mechanics they could add, like how New Horizons added farming, terraforming, crafting, you know the stuff. One big issue that needs to be fixed in the series is a reason to talk to our villagers. Bring back the villager fetch quests, please. I know I said I wanted a new mechanic, and I'm talking about a returning mechanic immediately, but I really want them to come back. These were super fun in the GameCube version. It gave us a reason to talk to our villagers, which is all I really want. Sure, we still do get requests sometimes. You have to run around your island until you find that one villager that wants to approach you with a question, if there even is one while you're playing, and asks you to deliver a gift to someone who is conveniently in their home. And it's a really ugly shirt that you don't want them to wear, but you don't want them to feel bad, so you just tell them to wear it anyway. But that's not good enough for me. Give me the fetch quests. I'll go find Maple's glasses case from Bam, who's just somewhere on my island. It forces me to explore, talk to villagers, and it's a fun way to get items. Kuri brought up a really fun mechanic from Dragon Quest Builders too. Depending on the items you put in a room, the characters will perform specific actions. Like if you place a chest, 3 bonfires, and a dining table in a room, the game will recognize it as a kitchen diner, and the NPCs will start cooking food that's placed in the chest. This is a really cool mechanic. Imagine your villagers actually using your espresso machine or eating some ramen in your cafe. We get a little sense of this with Happy Home Paradise, but I want that around my island. The villagers sit on things, but that's pretty much it. Otherwise, they're just cute, lifeless dolls that inhabit your island and send you a letter every now and then. I need more from them. If it wasn't for villager hunting, I wouldn't give a crap about these guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like looking at them, but that's pretty much all they're for. If they could interact more with the world, it would be incredibly adorable, and I would be more immersed and appreciate my villagers for once. Speaking of returning stuff, I swear this is the last returning thing I'm going to talk about in the game. In the next game, I want all the features available at launch. I understand what the developers had in mind when they delayed releasing some features in the game, like swimming, but now that we've already had to wait in this game, I don't want to have to wait again. Instead, how about locking the main mechanic behind gameplay requirements, kind of like how the fully upgraded resident services or Nook's Cranny aren't available to you until you reach a certain milestone. This is how I would like main mechanics locked rather than just sitting on my couch and waiting for months to be able to swim. I would also like a complete update schedule at launch. Maybe this is too much to ask for, but it shouldn't be. Something similar to what Splatoon 3 got. We don't need to know everything, just a vague roadmap as to what to expect. Splatoon gave us some information about when each update is expected to drop, but didn't list everything that's happening for that season. We still get some surprises announced as time goes on, like a week's notice for Splatfest or Big Run, or keeping the new weapons a mystery until the season is ready to be announced. It's a great way to keep the community excited and have us anticipate the next update. Though I wish the updates would be more frequent than every 3 months, but that's a whole other tangent that I just don't want to go down right now. There are so many returning or improved mechanics that I could talk about for hours, but some of the mechanics I really want to see come back better than ever are the NES Virtual Consoles from the GameCube days, or the Wii U and 3DS minigames from New Leaf. Something to add a little something for me to do in the game, or put a GameCube item that plays the original Animal Crossing so we can play Animal Crossing inside of Animal Crossing. Rugs outside need to be a thing. I'm sick of Sahara bragging her butt off every time we visit Harv's Island. Diagonal furniture is another thing that I feel like we should have in the game by now. Sure, there's a few models that are naturally diagonal, but I want each piece of furniture to have 8 directions that we can turn to instead of just 4. As a game that has a big concentration on decoration, it seems like it's a no-brainer to give us more decoration mechanics. Let's increase the number of things to collect because this game doesn't have enough. But I'm specifically talking about the museum. Someone had the idea to add a new wing of the museum, like a bird watching exhibit, something we don't already have that could add a little bit more for us to do. And we already have a camera app, so why not add some cute birds to take pictures of? Moving on to another mechanic I want on the next game, multiplayer. I would say better multiplayer, but I mean, we barely had multiplayer in New Horizons. I love that I can have people visit my island and do some stuff. Dig holes, drop a ton of random items because I'm too lazy to do it all myself. You know, the fun stuff. But I need more. Let me terraform with my friends around. Even if I box them in, they can just call rescue services or leave the island from wherever they are on the island. Maybe the developers are trying to save us from our islands getting destroyed or getting massively trolled, but it's not like the way multiplayer is now. It's impossible for people to not mess with your island. We already get trolled. Whenever I used to trade with someone on Nukazan, I still blocked off my entire island from them so they wouldn't steal stuff or ruin my flowers. Let them help us decorate. Imagine a whole island created by a community of people. So many ideas packed into one town. Ugh, that would be amazing. And I would have an actual reason to invite my friends over. If it's going to be obnoxious and time-consuming to get people loaded onto the island, I better be able to do something more than just sit down with them. Let me raid their house, steal their stuff, whack my axe against their house until it's a pile of rubble and they have to start over with a tent again. You know, nothing crazy. Any additional online functionality with friends is all I really want. Make a big city like in City Folk, but instead of lifeless NPCs walking around, make it an online lobby with other random players. Kind of like how Tortimer Island worked, but everyone's running to stores, talking to store owners, buying stuff, and getting into a queue to play minigames like we had in New Leaf. More multiplayer options would give the next game a longer life, and would stop most of us from begging for a new game a couple years after release. Or in the case of New Horizons, 1 month after release. People were done with this thing in April. Most farm sim games, not that Animal Crossing is a farm sim game, have some kind of mine or resource haven to explore. Sure, the developers most likely want to keep most of our exploring to our own islands or towns since the game is all about finding your way around a new place, but I think an extra place to explore would give us something more to do. Expand our world, in a way. We saw this a little bit with the addition of Tortimer's Island in New Leaf, and more so with Mystery Islands and Captain Islands in New Horizons. We have a new place to explore to collect some extra resources, especially with the thankful addition of crafting. But I think something like a mine or a dungeon to explore holding mysterious items could be cool. It would be way easier to get crafting resources like stone, iron, and gold nuggets, but it could also give the developers a more realistic way to add new items or even bring back the gemstones from New Leaf. Finally, I want more island customization options. We've seen people do crazy things with their islands, like making an entire desert or constantly time traveling so their island is forever in cherry blossom season. Many of you that I talked to had the idea to add biomes for your island. You could permanently have a desert island, cherry blossom island, or a tropical island, kind of like how Captain Islands work. Or even something like Stardew Valley, where you can pick a specific farm for your game. And if you wanted to change, you could just, reset. Or maybe Nintendo would be nice enough to give us a new island with each profile on our Switch if we want, but that would limit hardware sales, so we know that will never happen. It's really hard to limit the video to just 5 things, but I could probably talk for hours about all the mechanics I would want to see in the next game. These were the reasonable features that I feel like could be added to the game, but I feel like nothing is really out of the realm of possibility based on the direction the developers tend to take with Animal Crossing games. We'll just have to wait around for Animal Crossing New Space to release soon. Definitely soon, definitely space. Thanks again to Dragon City for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to download Dragon City by clicking the link in the description or scan the QR code and get the special free starter pack with 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the rare Scout Dragon. What are some brand new mechanics you would want to see in the next Animal Crossing game? Let everyone know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!